What's going on, guys? Firewolf here, hitting you with the iPhone SE 2020. We're gonna go ahead and unbox this and show you guys all around the phone. So the color I have here is the white color in the 64 gigs. Let's go ahead and open it up. In typical Apple fashion, they make it very seamless in opening up the box. All you have to do is pick it right up and it should slide right off. So right inside, we have our iPhone SE. Really nice. You have it in a nice white color. I'm really liking this. This also comes in a black color and a red color. Right inside the box, we're going to have our standard USB adapter. We also have an included ear pods. They're still sending it, which is really good. And we have our lightning USB cable right over here. So putting this all to the side, let's take a look around the iPhone SE. Now, this phone just came out in April 24th, 2020, and the reason why a lot of people refer this as the 2020 model is because it was released in 2020, and there's another iPhone SE that they released years ago, so to avoid confusion, it's easier to mention this as the SE 2020. So here we have the new iPhone SE in the white color, and I gotta say the phone looks really nice, especially in this white color. And to power it on, we're gonna power it on with the side button over here. And as it's powering on, let's take a look around and let's remove this plastic piece and reveal the shininess. So as that's booting up, you can see the display here, same size as an iPhone 8, 7, and an iPhone 6. So it's perfect upgrade if you guys still have an older iPhone model. So right on the bottom, we're gonna see our lightning connector right over here in the middle, and we have our dual built-in stereo speaker and microphone. On the side, we have our power button, we have our SIM tray. On the top, it's very clean, and on the other side, we're gonna have our toggle switch for the ringer, as well as a volume rocker, volume up and volume down. And overall, the design is very clean, just like previous iPhones. Okay, so powering it on the iPhone, we're gonna go ahead and set it up really quick. So we're gonna start with English here. We're gonna click United States, because we're in the US. And we're gonna set this phone up manually. Now, if you had another iPhone, you can simply join them together and it'll automatically pair. So we're gonna choose our Wi-Fi here. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect that. Once you connect to Wi-Fi, it's going to take a few minutes for it to activate. I purchased this with no service, so we're going to activate it with basically no service. Now, during the setup process, very simple questions they're going to ask you. A lot of them you just have to hit continue. Now, because it's the iPhone SE featuring the home button on the bottom, you can always set up Touch ID by placing your finger on top and following the screens by reading your fingerprint. We're going to skip that step. We're going to set that up later. So we're going to hit don't use. Here is where you would create a passcode. We're also going to skip that as well. And on here, this is where you would restore your iPhone from an iCloud backup, or if you have a backup on your Mac, or if you're transferring directly from another iPhone. Maybe you have an Android that you want to move your information from. But for now, we're going to hit don't transfer apps and data, because we're going to set this up as a brand new phone. Here you would type in your Apple ID, but like I said earlier, we're going to set that all later in the settings. We just want to jump right into the phone. We're going to set the terms and conditions, otherwise we can't use the phone. I'm going to hit continue to all of this. I'm going to share, I'm going to continue. And the good thing with the new iPhone SE and the new iOS is you have two appearances, light and dark. I prefer the dark over the light, so I'm going to continue with the dark. This is the home button haptic feedback. So essentially when you click on the button, it's not really a mechanical button, it's more like a haptic feedback. So changing the number higher is going to give you a harder feedback. Clicking the lower one is going to barely feel like it's a button. If you prefer this to feel more like a button, I recommend with the highest setting. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to continue. And new for the iOS, we have a display zoom. So you can basically adjust the zoom on the applications on the phone. So now we have it booted up. Very nice. The display is very sharp. Basically, they took the internals of the iPhone 11, the newest one, and basically put everything on the new iPhone SE. Now the iPhone SE has a starting price of $400, so it's very aggressively priced, and this is perfect for those who don't want to basically spend a lot of money on a new iPhone but still have the latest and greatest in terms of performance. Now the iPhone SE features a 4.7 Retina HD display. It has a 1334 by 750 pixel resolution, which is 326 pixels per inch. So everything looks very sharp. And as you can see, going to the Apple website, we have the iPhone SE featured. Now in the iPhone SE, we're going to have the new A13 chip. So that's going to be the same thing as the iPhone 11. So it's going to be very fast compared to any other iPhones in the past. Now in the camera, you have a nice 12 megapixel camera. So as you can see here, take some nice photos, light photos, all that good stuff. So my first impressions of the iPhone SE is that it feels very comfortable in the hand, and it being a smaller phone makes doing things with one hand a lot easier. You can see that you can easily go to your messages, you can create a message, and you can basically type away very seamlessly without having to use two hands, such as an iPhone 11 Pro Max or an 8 Plus, for example. So this is good for those that prefer a smaller footprint. Now for comparison purposes, I have the iPhone 11 Pro, and as you can see here, we have quite a few differences in size. Now the 11 Pro is not that much larger. Again, this is the Pro version. Now the Max is a lot bigger than this, but just to give you a good side-by-side, this would be a good size indicator, very close to the current SE over here. And obviously the main differences here is going to be the screen size. Now this being a larger display, you have 5.8 on the right versus 4.7. As you can see, you have a lot more vertical versus basically you have a lot of less screen real estate on the left side. So all in all, I really think the iPhone SE is a great phone for those that don't want to spend a lot of money but still want to get a good phone. If this is going to be your first iPhone, again, this is a really good entry model at $400 for the 64 gigs, and there's also 128 gigs and a 256 gig configuration. I think it's a really good price. And if you're still stuck in the iPhone 6, 7, or 8, and I know a lot of people out there still like that home button, the good news is that you can still get it in a brand new iPhone. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the video. More coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys.